Is Haiti a Latin American country? Haiti is a Latin American country.
Well,
Located in the Caribbean, Haiti was a French
siempre
colony.
que te pregunto que cómo, cuándo y dónde, tú
Interesting.
siempre me respondes. Quizás, quizás, quizás. Ba-da-da-pam-pam-pam-pam.
How did I start off again? Oh, yes, in my Ted Koppel voice.
You don't have to do a Ted Koppel voice, Moena.
But why? What if I want to? Mimi?
Ted Koppel's freaking dead.
Wait, what? No, he's not.
I just
Oh,
figured
you
he
know who I'm
was.
thinking? You know who I'm thinking of? I was thinking of. I don't know why I
Just
know
took a
all
wild
these old
guess.
white reporters, but like you know what? I was thinking of Dan Rather,
Oh, okay.
and
He's
right?
kind of lit, but
It-
he might die any day now.
Oh God, yeah. But
He's kinda old.
he's alive.
He might
but
be.
Ted
I know
Koppel
he used to have a Twitter.
When did Ted Koppel die? Like a little while ago?
I made that up.
Oh, okay.
I
See,
made that up.
Why you think you're so funny?
I'm not
Why
trying to
would
be
you see-
funny.
why would
I just took a guess and I figured I would be right.
I mean, hey, I'm doing my podcasting thing right now, and I'm trying to channel
Pick somebody black.
Tom.
This
Oh,
is African times.
yeah, you're absolutely right. Yes, African time.
Sorry.
We just won. Yeah, but it's okay. Who's a well-known? Oh, Tavis Smiley.
Okay.
There you go. Tavis Smiley
Do
is
you
one.
have an impression of Tavis?
Ooh. I think he's Southern. So
Uh-oh.
in the
Uh-oh.
Southern.
Are you
But
about
let's-
to do a generic Southern
I know.
accent right now?
Exactly. No, I'm not gonna. Nope, I'm not gonna do that.
The diaspora wars continue.
Tavis. So don't get me started. We'll get to that soon. So there's Tavis Smiley. There's
Al Roker?
Al Roker. Right. Yep. Al
Mhm.
Roker. Oh, this is terrible.
Don Lemon.
I mean, does he? Yes, he counts. Sorry, I'm just
He
kidding.
counts. He's changed.
He did change. Yes, I was thinking of like old Don Lemon.
Do you
who
know
was
I
saying
met
some
Don
stupid-
Lemon?
Where? When?
Karaoke.
Oh, he was. Wait. Oh, this is and was he sober? Because usually
Oh, Lord. Listen, I have no idea.
I'm just thinking of Don Lemon. Like during New Year's, and you know how
I
late
don't
he
know.
gets. Okay,
I don't know.
and he's from New Orleans, so
All I know is that I had a friend at the time that was dating Don Lemon.
oh, okay.
And we were at a karaoke event for like a birthday party.
Okay.
And I looked and I'm like, I think that's Don Lemon. And this is like before he started being like against black people.
Mm.
I think he had just started. He must have been like a month in.
Uh-huh.
And I wasn't really keeping track of his career at the time. So I went up to him and was like, oh my God, Don Lemon, like, I love you. And he was like, really? And I was like, oh my God, what? Like, why wouldn't I love Don Lemon? And then I started singing some song. I think it was like, I Want to Dance with Somebody or something.
How's that go?
Oh, I want to dance with somebody.
Okay, got it. Yes,
That
just
one.
like that. Okay.
And he joined in with me so that I wouldn't be doing it alone.
Were you correcting him? Were you like, no, actually, this is how you do the
No.
harmony. I want to dance with
No,
somebody.
actually, I felt like he kind of like dominated it in
Oh,
a way.
did
And
he?
I was like, okay,
Ugh, man.
okay, Don. And then, of course, like a few weeks later, I discovered that he had like totally flipped and started being racist. But now he's back on track, right?
Well, they fired him though, so they got rid of
Oh,
him.
scheisse. When did they fire him?
There was a whole string of like CNN firing, so they got.
Oh,
to get rid
yes.
of him
Okay,
real
no, I
quick.
remember this.
And I mean, CNN is has its issues. Oh, Mark Lamont Hill, that's
Okay.
another one. What's her name? Susan O'Brien, Soledad O'Brien. Whatever. She's black. She's black.
I mean,
Mixed
she's
race,
just
whatever. But
she's just white passing. It's okay.
she.
I accept her. I actually really like her work.
Melissa Harris.
Okay,
right?
now that we've named all the black people that you know, who are news anchors
that are news, I'm just trying to follow in their footsteps.
Okay.
So can we actually get to these real questions?
You didn't even say Oprah.
Oprah is
Or
a journalist.
Gayle.
You're right. Oprah is a journalist.
What about Gail?
Gayle King is a journalist.
Okay, there you go.
Is Whoopi Goldberg? Is she a journalist?
No,
Because she's on The View and she asks really good questions.
Does she?
I guess that's like calling. That's like calling Nori. That's like calling Nori from Drink Champs a journalist as well.
Ooh, I don't know who that is, but anyway.
Oh, they're these fantastic where literally they talk for 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
It's Nori and some rapper or something like that.
Noriega?
Yes.
Okay, no, I
would
just
be the
wanted to,
full-
because Nori is also like some kind of seaweed.
Are you referring to Noriega?
I'm an opera singer. You expect me to the number of people that expect me to know things about rap when I listen to mostly opera is crazy.
No, but but Mimi, really though, when you're like on the subway, you're
Yeah.
listening to opera. That's what you're trying to tell me. Like
A lot of the
on the
time I
regular.
am. A lot of the time I am. But I tell you what, I'm definitely not listening to rap. And that's not because I dislike rap.
Oh,
It's truly not. It's just because I don't think about listening to it. It's just not what I listen to. I'm more likely to listen to jazz or like Stevie Wonder or like oldies.
so like if you press shuffle on your music playlist
Yeah.
right now, what would the songs that would come up?
Well,
Like
there's
literally, you press shuffle.
probably songs from my gym playlist,
Okay.
which I have not made. I just use the gym playlists of other people. So I don't know. Yeah.
It would have some rap on there then.
No,
No?
probably not.
Okay, that's fine. Why did? Anyway, Drink Champs. Yeah, it's okay. So now that I think about it, but
Noriega, the
Noriega,
rapper.
yes, the rapper.
Mhm.
So you're right. He is definitely not what I'm trying to channel. I'm trying to channel those journalists. So you're right. I'm not gonna ask this in a British / Ted Koppel accent, who might or might not
Yeah,
be
be
dead.
yourself.
I'm gonna. Well, myself is me doing weird accents sometimes. So that's what I do randomly.
Sorry, I didn't mean to. I accept you. You can do an
As
accent.
I am. Why? Thank you.
You can do an accent.
Can I?
I support you.
Which one do you want me to do though? Give me like a little
Um,
roulette, and then I'll go through it.
Well, part of me wants to say Russian, but I don't want you to be embarrassed.
Oh, God.
Should I give you one that I
Russian.
know you can do?
all I know with Russian is yeah.
Yeah, but you don't have to say anything. And
How has the music? Yeah.
yeah,
That's
there-
all I know.
okay.
Dostoevsky.
Oh no! Listen,
Da.
don't do it.
Yeah, the mic is not picking that up. Thank you. Helping me out. If you whisper loud enough, people won't hear you. Thank you. So the question I was gonna ask before we literally talked about every black journalist
That you know.
did you know any more than I
This
did?
is not my podcast.
Did you know any more than I did? Okay,
This is
you
not
did
my
mention
podcast.
Oprah and
I
you
don't
did
have
mention
to
Gayle King. You're
Answer
right.
to you. Okay.
So my question I was gonna ask you, okay, because you're an opera singer,
Yes.
you are a band leader,
Mm,
okay, I guess, but you've been in the music industry for
I've front
the
a
longest.
band. Yeah. Yeah. I've been working on music stuff for a long time.
I guess is there a difference between a band leader and a band fronter?
Yeah, because
What's the difference?
the band leader you can think of more as like a conductor. They don't really conduct, but they kind of like keep everything together musically. And the front person is the person who's normally talking to the audience, singing the songs, kind of doing that aspect of it, like being the band's extrovert. You good?
I am good. Don't worry, we're not gonna get your
I was
voice
just,
messed up
I was
today.
just, I was just
I've got
checking on
you.
you because
It's
I'm such a nice person. um, anyway, and then yeah, so the band leader is kind of like making sure the band's together,
Mhm.
and the front man is like the person who is
Or woman.
communicating with the audience.
And that's right, and that's who you'd
Yeah.
be, front woman. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that's fine. I mean, I saw you and the band you were fronting, and you were amazing. And I mean, everyone was looking at you; they weren't paying attention to them. So I don't know, but I
Oh
guess you're the
my
one out front.
God.
So
Yeah, but I mean, that's the way it's designed that way, you know? And people who are in the band, they they have to be working at such a high level. If you're enjoying what the front person's doing, it's because the instrumentalists in the band are together. There's no way that you can enjoy what the front person is doing if like the music that they're performing to is not really vibing. You know what I mean? I always get so much credit when I perform with my band, but I'm like, the only reason why this is possible, the only reason why people like this is because they're playing with me. You know, I mean, obviously I'm good on my own. I have my own talents that I bring to it, but like we're there as a team, you know?
that's amazing, and that's very humble of you. Which I wouldn't expect, because you out here just like, hi, it's me.
I mean,
kill the game.
The best kind of musician is definitely a collaborative person. There's not a lot of people who are going to be working that can't really like get a lot out of collaborating.
So, and does that go to like musicians that are, because there are solo artists and there are people that maybe play one instrument, but even those kind of artists, say, like, I kind of think of in like in comedy terms, like a sketch comedian versus a stand up comedian, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like in music, those kind of exist too, where they're
Yeah. There are people who work by themselves and there are people that work in a group. I'm not one of those people that just does something by themselves. People who do that, I don't know. There's like such few examples of people who can really do that and are truly doing that, and are also doing it at a really, really high level.
Like who?
Like, like Wagner, the racist composer.
Great.
Like he wrote all his own librettos and he wrote all his own scores. He orchestrated everything and he was profoundly racist. And I don't know, his music is still played today because it was really good. And then other people who are less problematic, like Stevie Wonder. I remember there's that one song he has where he collaborated with like this legendary musician and barely lets him play. What is the song?
Because Stevie Wonder was known for playing all his instruments and doing everything.
I mean,
basically.
yeah, he
Right.
was a wunderkind.
Was he? Wait. So what was that? A duet? Is that what you mean? Like
He
was
invited
singing with this person?
He invited. Gosh, was it Donny Hathaway? No, Wynton Marsalis. It was some legendary jazz musician.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
That he invited to perform on one of his albums, and he let the dude do like a little solo.
And then he was like, "Oh."
And then
I'm
Stevie Wonder took the rest of the song as a solo.
Right.
I mean, soloing on his harmonica. So, I mean, there are some people who can just, strap in and do everything. But it's very rare. And I'm not as interested in making that kind of art.
You're interested in making collaborative art.
Of course.
And why is that? Or, I mean, is it because, I mean, ideas that come from your mind and come from yourself are going to be like the purest representation of you. Do you know what I mean? And isn't that what you want to give out to the masses, or you would rather it be shared with other pieces or other instrumentalists?
Okay. I guess there's a lot of different ways to answer that. First of all, what I do is interpret. So I need other people. I don't write my own songs. I have written my own songs before, usually after like a breakup or something. I'll just be like, oh, that's a really good idea for a song. And I'll just write a song and I'm like, I have a song, but that's it. I don't really feel anything towards it. But being able to interpret the work of a great composer is really what I do best. It's what I'm working towards the most. So it's collaborative by the nature of what it is that I'm doing.
And I definitely.
And then I need an amazing conductor to work with. And I need my colleagues that I'm singing with to also be good people and to be willing to kind of like pass the baton in a way that feels right.
Okay, so just to get your opinion on this, since you just mentioned a problematic person, Faulkner is his name, right? Do you have any? I mean, that's always a age-old debate. Like,
Yeah.
problematic artists. Do you separate the artist from the music? Yada yada yada. Like, that's someone that you don't mind listening to and you don't mind performing their music. Oh,
Okay.
shrugs. Shrugs, I see.
As a Black lady,
Yes.
I have to really choose my battles well. We're currently living in a time where the way I feel about that doesn't change whether or not that music is performed. And on the list of concerns that Black people have, that's probably towards the bottom right now. So I'm letting it go. I'm like, Wagner's performed. That's just a fact. He was also incredibly hateful. That is also a fact. And what do I feel inside about it? Not much. I have to let it go. Am I supposed to just be mad about everything? I just gotta let that shit go.
Interesting. I would think that it has less to do with letting it go or not feeling feeling a certain type of way of it, and maybe just not having that music spread anymore. Even if it has nothing to do with you necessarily.
There's nothing I can do about whether or not that music is spread.
But it's still being spread. I mean, you are still acting as a vessel for said music.
Are you asking me whether or not I would perform that music if someone was gonna offer me money to sing it? I would absolutely perform it. That's not even hard. Yeah. If someone said, "Hey, I'm gonna pay you thousands of dollars to interpret Wagner," I'd be like, "Let's make him roll around in his grave."
Got it.
Let's do
right,
it.
because you're right. Fair enough, and you get paid.
Yeah.
But and is there any now? Is that also because of the particular genre? Because of course this is music that you are, as you said, like you're more, you find yourself listening to more the operatic, classical kind of music, as opposed to someone offers you to sing, I don't know, an R&B song by R. Kelly. Is that your same view on it? Like, well,
I wouldn't be getting paid as
it,
much.
Oh, okay.
They would be paying me thousands of dollars to sing Wagner.
But what if you
Someone
were
that
getting paid as much?
thousands of dollars to sing R. Kelly?
At like a wedding or something.
Touching on your booty, your booty.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Listen, abso-fucking-lutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I bear no responsibility for what these people have done. And I see the performance of their music. The effects of it are like rather minimal. Yeah, like R. Kelly got locked up. Wagner's been dead a long time. Also, it doesn't change the fact that the way people love Wagner when they love Wagner is literally insane. There's nothing I can do about these things. I just don't care. If you want to pay me money to sing it, I'll probably sing it.
Got it.
unless the circumstances suck.
Got it. So yeah, those questions of supporting artists that have done bad things to you, you see it as kind of like a.
Supporting. That's an interesting way to interpret what I said.
Oh well, okay. How would you see it?
But my question is, when I gave my answer, did you hear what I said as support for these artists?
Well, I guess to me, I feel like the way that music, especially, is shown. I don't know, uh, any type of reverence or respect or
Right.
support
I
is
just
by
think it's funny the
performing
idea.
it for
I don't
a
think,
bunch of
but
people.
I think that if I
Oh.
were to be the person who erected the performance, that would be supporting it. That would be supporting it in a big way. If I was someone who was going to be like, I would love for this opera festival to perform Wagner. That would be a kind of like championing Wagner,
Okay. Oh, there's a difference
right?
as opposed to.
As opposed to being a hired hand, being a mercenary. You know what I like? I'm just there to sing, and I would see it as a blip on my journey.
Mm,
Am I supposed to be hungry just because I wouldn't perform some Wagner? Wagner's not running for Senate. Okay, Wagner's fucking dead. He's not taking away rights from people right now.
mm.
So I would perform it, but I wouldn't consider that a form of support.
Support. Okay. Yeah, and in my very non-expert way of seeing music, I just see performing music in front of people. Whether
Also,
you call
nobody
it
cares about Wagner, but like no
But
one listening to this cares about Wagner. So
you know what? I highly disagree. I have some very smart listeners that are going to be like Wagner.
Okay.
They're going to know. And people, yeah, I feel like you might be surprised, and I for sure know that people that would go see a Wagner show would know something about him, just as most people that pay to go see some interpretation of an artist, dead or not, they would know about said artist's, I don't know, background and
Yeah.
history.
Yeah,
You know
for
what I
sure,
mean?
for sure.
But yeah, you don't see it as support. That's cool. You're just bringing it out to the masses.
You're so
What's happening?
you're just bringing it out to the masses.
And just and you get the check. You said, like you said, a mercenary. You're just like you get it in. Yeah, it has
I'm
nothing
doing
to do
my
with
job.
you. That's
There's certain things as a singer
yes.
that you just have to let it go. I personally am not going to. I've worked so hard on my voice. I've had so many challenges brought to me because I'm a singer. If I get an opportunity to perform, I owe it to myself to take that opportunity. For me to take a political stance that leads to me not being able to perform is a form of disrespect to my instrument and to the work I've done on my instrument. There might come a time, because of the type of voice that I have, where I end up singing a lot of Wagner. And I will very easily make peace with that in my soul. I hope that I get to sing more of other composers. But if I'm making a bunch of money singing Wagner, I'll cry all the way to the bank.
Let me get it in.
I'll apologize to anyone who needs an apology from me.
Yeah. Like, ha ha ha, and let me get that check.
Donate some
and
money to the Anti-Defamation League.
Yes, there you go. Okay.
And then I will continue to perform Wagner.
So, okay, on that tip then, how has the music industry, I mean, and and maybe I should stop saying music industry, because you're talking about something very specific, which is being performer, in operas, and then also given also you fronting your band or being in front of your band. How has things changed? I dearly want to say after COVID, but that's not the case. COVID is still here, so maybe I should say once things opened up, and have you found there to be more opportunities, less? Has it
There are
made it more
different
difficult?
opportunities.
Okay.
There's just different opportunities. There were a few things that I was supposed to do right before COVID happened that just couldn't happen. And now it's like I'm so different as an artist, and my instrument is so different that yeah, it's just really different opportunities. You have to do this. You have to work so hard to stay on the map as a singer, which is, I mean, so many more people have been putting their things online. So many more people have been just like making videos and getting opportunities through that. And that kind of stuff has always been, I'm not so aligned with it. Doesn't really speak to me. So that's not my vibe. But a lot of people have gotten so many opportunities doing that. And that's amazing for them. But for me, things have changed just because my voice has changed so much and my temperament has changed. And so now there's like a different kind of performance that I'm capable of and wanting to do.
So I guess in what ways has your voice changing led to different opportunities then? Like, I mean, explain
Yeah.
for the person that doesn't really know much about that. Like, what does that mean? Is it deeper? Is it higher? Is it, I don't know, more full bodied? I don't know.
Yeah, everyone goes through some voice changes. I know everyone knows about how like when dudes go through puberty, they like their voice like suddenly drops one day. Everybody knows about that. But like for women, for everybody, there's different phases. Like in your late 20s, early 30s, your voice, like certain bones ossify in your larynx, and so your voice gets bigger. And also, since we learn how to sing in such a physical way, opera singers, any change that happens to your body happens to your voice. So it's like all those things happened to me. So I was practicing all the time during the pandemic. I was like in a really intense thing that I did with my voice teacher where it was like I had voice lessons several times a week. I had coaching several times a week. And then on Fridays, I drove to Philly for like a socially distant, like in-person class thing. And my voice was going through a lot of changes and my body was changing too. Dan, why'd you look at me like that when I said that?
Look at you like what?
You were like,
No, I'm just here. I'm listening. I'm here, just I'm taking in what
it's
you're
true.
saying.
My body changed during the pandemic. No, I mean, not in a crazy way. I mean, before the pandemic, I was like slightly leaner than I am now. It wasn't like this huge change. But all those changes meant that things that that were normal for me, that I could always do with ease, they weren't easy. And I had so many freaking breakdowns just in my apartment by myself, like trying over and over again to do something that I could already do for so long that was easy for me. But suddenly, now that I was trying to do it with this different instrument and a slightly different body, it was like I just couldn't do it right. I remember this one time I just couldn't do it. I tried singing the C over and over and over again. It's a high C. It's like in the upper parts of my range. And I just like had a breakdown where I just sat there and I freaking cried. And then I went to my room. I fell asleep. I cried myself to sleep. And then I woke up. And then I went back to my little practice room. And I practiced some more. And I tried to fucking get it. And most of my pandemic experience with my voice was like that. So I went through all of that. And then I went through this whole thing where like I had to get a new manager because my manager was fucking racist. And I ended up firing her, but I needed a new manager because without a manager, you can't get certain auditions. And I'm like, I've been working so hard on my voice. I need to be putting it out there. And my voice life has all these specific things. And like, I tried to go to freaking Vienna because this lady, this manager from Vienna really wanted to hear me. And so I go there and she was like kind of ghosting me and shit. And it was like this crazy experience where I was working on my voice all the time. I had one of my other voice teachers was there. They're a husband and wife team. He was there coaching one of their really young students that's like singing at this really, really well respected opera house. And I was like working with him several hours a day. I traveled to Salzburg to get more coachings. And then I traveled back to Vienna to do some more coachings. And then I went to Bad Endorf in Germany to do this audition. And it was like she set me up with this audition, this agent. And she wasn't really committed. She was just like, and I did this audition, and when I was done, they were like, okay.
Oh shit.
They were just like, okay.
Yeah.
And I went home, and I was like, okay, I guess that didn't fucking work, and I have to like keep trying. And then someone asked me if I wanted to sing Aida in Utah, and I went and auditioned for it, and then I got it. And then I went to Utah to sing Aida.
Congrats.
It's like, thank you. It's just been like this crazy journey. And my voice and me are just really different now.
Growing along with, I guess, and growing along with it in a way, right? And
yeah. I don't even know
changing.
if I answered your question. At some point during there, I just started following my own, like.
No, and I think you did, of just you talking about your voice and you changing and growing.
Yeah.
And dealing with a situation with the pandemic and us being locked in, and it's something unprecedented, and how you had to change along with it. But now, you've talked about the past, you've talked about the present. So what is the future for Mimi looking like when it comes to music? And you're also very vocal about your blackness in a space that I imagine, correct me if I'm wrong, isn't too black, the opera world. But maybe you're about to tell me,
Not
actually,
too
no,
black,
there's
no.
a bunch
I
of
don't know. I have a lot of, I don't know. The fact that I like opera every day, I'm like, wow, I can't believe I like this. Like it catches me by surprise every day because it's sexist, it's racist, it's very conservative in a lot of ways. In a lot of ways, it's not conservative, but like in a lot of ways, it's just been claimed by conservatism and like people who are more traditional. And so I feel like there's a big part of me that's truly at odds with the art form. But I also feel really, really drawn to communicating this way with my voice. And I try not to ask too many questions about that. It's what I want to do. But yeah, there's not that many black people. I don't know. Like, there's not that many. Every time, it's like the thing that fucking sucks about being an opera singer is that when you're black, there's only like 3 roles that were written specifically for black people that are regularly done. And so, well, if you can't do any of those roles, well, good luck, right? At least 2 of them are in my voice type. One of them I've never done that. I don't know if I'll ever do it, but it's like those 2 roles too. It's like one of them is Bess from Porgy and Bess, which is like she's on drugs.
Okay.
The other one is Aida. She's like been enslaved by the Egyptians. She's also a princess. She's an Ethiopian princess, but it's a secret.
Of course it is. Yes.
And so
what's the third one?
I can't even think of it right now. I just know it has to exist.
Okay. And it probably has to do with slavery or
I don't know.
some sort. Oh, okay.
I don't know because opera is kind of like doesn't really deal with that so often.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Got it.
it's l'Africaine.
Oh, the African?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. That actually isn't my voice type.
Yeah.
But anyway, so it's kind of like, damn, I should be working a lot more. But anyway.
You just
So
had
it's
that
like,
epiphany right now, huh?
But it's like, if you aren't doing those things, can't do those things, whatever it is. When people think about roles, when they think like, okay, La Boheme, Mimi, they think about Mimi, one of the characters. My name is Mimi, but there's a character in La Boheme called Mimi.
La Boheme is opera.
It's an opera. It's the one that Rent is based off of.
Oh, okay.
And so,
What is that? What is that opera? Real quick, like the
What?
story. La
what's
Boheme?
the story?
Yeah, real quick.
It's like a group of young people that are artists, and then one of them gets really sick and fucking dies. And she has a little boyfriend. He's a poet. She's like she crochets shit and sells them, I guess.
Okay.
And, she's been coughing up a storm. And he's like, I'm worried about that bitch. And then she fucking dies. It's real sad.
And who is the opera? Is
The composer is Puccini. These
okay,
are and they're
okay.
French. It's an opera by Puccini. But they're French people.
Okay.
And yeah, when people are putting up La Boheme, they're like, let's get someone to play Mimi who has dark hair and is like cute, but not too good looking, because they're supposed to be like a really hot character. Musetta. They have all these ideas about who they want to sing Mimi, and it's usually in their mind they're not like, oh, I'm gonna get a black person. They're thinking, or they're not even thinking to themselves, I want to get like a diverse cast. They have an idea for traditionally what Mimi looks like, which is like she's got darker hair. I've never seen a blonde Mimi. She's got, she's just a little bit more, she's more girl next door. And then that's it, right? They're not like, who'd be great at that? That opera singer, what's her name? Carami? Mimi, that girl? No, they're not thinking that. Also, to be fair, I don't see myself really as that kind of a character either. But I'm saying that shit's perfect for my voice. But a lot of people would never consider a black person in the role at all because they're already looking for somebody white. The only time they're looking for you when you're black is specifically for these roles. If you're not doing one of those roles, they're not looking for you. Good luck.
But you've been in roles that were written for white.
Yes,
and you've done.
I've performed. My voice type is slightly more rare. I'm also really talented.
Talk about it. I like
and
that.
So I've gotten the opportunity to do roles where I wasn't selected specifically for my race. But it's like, it's really hard to break into the industry if you aren't doing something that's specifically race related. And then there's like, nowadays, white people are mad because they're like doing more diverse operas to get more audiences in, and white people are like, oh, I was the wrong color this year. It's like, well, you should have gotten in last year, I guess. Or maybe you could just wait and get a job next year.
And you will always be the right color anyway.
Yeah.
So, right.
And it's also like, out of the 3 or 4 opera companies that are doing something where they hired black people, just apply for the other ones. Just apply for all the other ones.
It's like, yeah, you gonna be all right. Yeah, as usual.
I mean, it's such a fucking cop-out. Deal with it. Anyway.
So I guess what I was gonna ask, because you're dealing with all of this, and you're seeing these obstacles, and you talk about those times where you go back home and maybe you're like, okay, opera has this, and this going against it. Who are some artists, and they don't even have to necessarily be in opera, that gave or give you inspiration and that kind of fuel you to keep going and do this? And are there any artists that you look at as influences on your voice or that you have tailored yourself to? And this is going to lead into my next question, because this is something I've always really wanted to hear from the lion's mouth, horse's mouth.
It could be a lion.
Well, okay, let's say a
feel
lion.
like being
Lioness,
a horse
damn
right
it.
now. Well, it's interesting. As the more my voice develops, the less I want to sound like anybody else. It's like I hear what I'm becoming, and I'm so proud of what it is. But then before I got to that place, there was Jesse Norman, Leontine Price, Shirley Brett, all these Black people. But also, the more I like just build this relationship with my voice, where I just love and appreciate it, the more I appreciate artists like Maria Callas. She was just so freaking expressive in
And these are all
every
opera
moment.
singers.
They're all opera singers. They're like, opera's so specific. It's hard to be like, oh, I like this, what this person does. But like when they're not in the realm of opera. But there are some singers like that for me. One of them is Prince. Although these days, it's really hard for me to watch like Prince interviews because I just feel like he made people very uncomfortable, and he liked to do that. It's very strange.
Oh,
but anyway,
okay.
I really love how he's just like so accepting of who he is. Like all the songs he writes about just being like non-binary, basically. If we had that language today, he would definitely be non-binary because, he has that song, I'm not a woman, I'm not a man, I am something that you'll never understand. So it's like, yeah, he's just like, he's non-binary. And I really love, I don't listen to a lot of Björk. That's how she pronounced her name, okay?
Okay.
And it's a post-colonial choice.
Okay.
She's like, the Danes got you out here pronouncing Björk, but my name is Björk.
Okay.
Okay. So I really like how she's so willing to just fucking like growl into a microphone sometimes, and she's just so crazy. Like I really like it. I don't listen to a lot of her music, but I think it's so inspirational to see someone being a crazy bitch on stage, Well, Janet Jackson, and because she's so comfortable in her body. And I always feel so weird in my body on stage. Like, if I'm not, like, fully engaged in my character and what I'm singing, I feel freaking weird. So just seeing Janet Jackson up there just like, we all live.
Do not apologize ever for gracing us with your wonderful voice.
Oh, stop.
It's true. You know it is.
You're right. But no, I mean, just Janet Jackson, she's just so, she just moves so well, like with this comfort, this ease, and
it complements her or her voice, or I guess they work in tandem, right? Her
I mean, I
voice
don't
and
admire her
body.
singing at all.
Oh, okay, got it.
No, come
okay.
on.
What does that mean? I feel like
no. I admire who she is when she performs, and I like a bunch of her songs. But she's not like pushing the limits of what she can do vocally. She's out there. Oh, baby, baby, baby. I mean, anybody could do that.
Ooh.
Sorry. I do love her, though. I love her. She, like, a great artist doesn't have to have an amazing voice.
Okay.
I love Janet Jackson. She
so
can't
you know
really
what?
sing, though.
Perfect segue.
That's not even really. Is that controversial?
I'm not.
Is it? Who's?
I don't know. Hey.
Who sings worse than Janet? sorry. Who has like a music career that's
I already
spanned
know what
decades?
I already know what I'm going to
Who?
put on the headline for this podcast anyway. So this is
Oh
great.
Lord,
Janet
okay.
Jackson is trash.
Oh, I didn't say she was trash. I love her so much.
Right. But you're not.
At least
checking
once
her.
a year, I have to sit down and watch all of her videos.
So the visual is important.
Yeah.
Because you're not checking her for her voice. I got you.
No.
Okay.
But I like I like it though. Like I like her voice.
So, that kind of leads me to a musical theory that you had,
Oh
or
Lord.
that I would have heard that I heard of anointments or anointed singers. Um, wow, you just did the Batman laugh a little
No,
bit, like
that's so funny. That was such a funny conversation.
yeah. So I just would like you to inform our very expert that know about music, our esteemed listeners, what exactly in your mind is an anointed singer? What that mean, and what are some examples? Please, yeah, please.
I can't do this is so funny. I can't be responsible for this. This is so funny. Okay. Okay. To put it plainly.
Okay.
Okay. Anybody could be anointed, okay? Any artist can be anointed. Any muggle can also be anointed. I just don't know much about that.
Harry Potter. Got it. Okay. Nice little
You know,
reference.
people who aren't musicians.
Yeah.
Muggles.
Yes.
But there's a certain kind of person where they kind of like, they be catching the spirit while they're doing what they're doing. I mean, maybe catching the spirit is like, it's the only way that I can describe it. And so, yeah, there's some people you can see they're channeling. And so, yeah, like Tina Turner. Come on. How could that not be anointed? You know what I mean? She's anointed, right? Just people like that.
People that you're not necessarily referencing a specific type of voice or a specific.
No.
Okay, so yeah, but
Do
so
I think
catching
Janet
this-
Jackson's anointed? No, probably not.
Okay.
Maybe she is though, because her talent lies mostly in her dancing.
Okay.
So maybe she was channeling through that.
But again, so who are the artists that you look at and you're like, that's because you
Anointed?
said everyone could be, but who are the ones that? And I guess I'm speaking specifically in music because I'm not talking about, I don't know, athletes or whatever.
Okay.
I'm being very specific. This is about music.
Okay.
Right.
I mean, I feel Tina Turner.
And okay,
I know I just said Tina Turner. Do you want me? Would you?
yes. So I mean, I can start just naming artists,
Yeah,
and then
go
you'd
ahead.
be like anointed
Mhm.
or not anointed.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, so Aretha.
Anointed.
Okay, all right, no, but I'm just
Definitely anointed.
trying to understand where it's going. Okay, Bob Marley.
Oh, that one's kind of hard because he was such a dick to people.
Okay, so then
But he was probably anointed though.
okay, so it has nothing. We're just focusing them on as an artist and their music, right?
Yeah,
'Cause you
artists
mentioned
don't
the
have to be good people.
But you mentioned the dickishness. Does that take
Yeah.
away from anointment?
No.
No. Okay.
Because it's about letting yourself go somewhere and being like sensitive enough to like be really open.
Okay. So yeah, now a little bit more. So, and you said catching the spirit as in something, and it doesn't have to necessarily be the God or whatever, but it's something divine, almost heavenly, like it transcends music. And is it of their voice or like an instrumentalist?
Yeah, definitely.
So it has
Instrumentalists can also
instrumentalists.
anybody
like,
who
Miles
creates.
Davis,
Yeah, definitely.
anointed.
Anybody who creates.
Okay. So then let me just go to people that we see as great professionals who has a good voice, but maybe you don't think is anointed. Like, for example, Lauryn Hill. Is she anointed?
See, one time your sister and I were talking and we came to the conclusion that she was anointed, but she had lost it.
Okay. How does that happen?
I don't know how that happens, but she seems ill.
Okay.
I guess she went too deep into the anointing.
See, that's right. Yeah.
Lost her mind a little bit.
I see. But and in a way, because the way I've kind of thought about it is that there has to be something raw and something almost unpolished. So
Mm,
yeah,
Well,
and that's why I was thinking,
I
oh,
I would
Lauryn Hill
disagree
would
with
be.
that.
Oh, okay.
I would disagree with that. I think a lot of the purpose of technique is to refine. And so that means you will have something that's polished. But like polishing something is supposed to give you the freedom to be who you really are or to make a choice that you truly want to make. Something that comes from deep inside of you rather than like something generic. And so like I'm not thinking about things that are raw or unpolished. I'm thinking about like people who allow themselves to let go, truly, truly let go, and really like embody something that's bigger than them.
I see. You just talked about Prince. Is Prince anointed?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So is Beyonce anointed?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. She is. She's also like such a little tyrant.
Oh, yeah.
But I think, yeah, I think about Beyonce. There's that clip where she's like, somebody's getting fired. And it's like, imagine working for somebody. I mean, that's kind of, it's just, she's a little tired. Like, it's a little scary, but it's also like her name is on everything. So it's like there's very little wiggle room for her if something goes wrong. So I was just thinking about that. Colors how I feel about it, but I think she's definitely
I mean,
anointed.
there's the stuff that came out about Lizzo and
Yeah.
the allegations of her maybe not having the most.
She's not anointed.
She's not.
But she's never been.
Oh, so besides this,
I've always tried to like her, and I liked her. I liked her, like when she was bringing those people up on stage. Like she really tried to like put people in the spotlight that were good people. So I always tried to like her, but I never felt really connected to her. I always felt like she was a little bit of a tryhard. And look at that. She's not anointed, and this stuff came out. I mean, honestly, none of it sounds that bad to me.
Oh, I see. Hey, look, hey.
This is I mean, dude, it's like, oh no, I'm saying something that's probably really bad.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
look, to be fair, I did not read through everything that happened.
Okay, great. Yeah, that's a great disclaimer. Well done.
Please. I did not read through everything that happened. I'm not a perfect person, okay? I don't keep up on everything. I was busy.
Fair enough.
And I don't care that much about Lizzo.
Okay. There you go. That's real too.
But from the things that I heard, it seems like shit like that be happening when you go out on tour. I'm just saying, it's like the music industry is like intense and unkind, and anyone could easily be replaced for any reason. And you're working on the tour of like a really well respected, really high earning, high level artist. Oops, I did smack the microphone a few times, my bad. And that seems like it would be, it sounds like it tracks. The fact that Lizzo wanted to hang out with them at all was actually where I thought things were crazy. I was like, wow, she's actually hanging out with the help, like with the town. Like to me, I think that's nuts. And then apparently they went to a strip club and like she had somebody eat a banana out of a stripper's poon. That part sounds bad, but it's also like if Lizzo took you by the back of your head and like pushed her face onto the banana, then I would feel like you were truly forced. Outside of that happening, I just feel like you're on tour with a crazy artist. Like crazy shit's been happening on tour for centuries. I don't know.
I don't know. So I guess just a little bit of pushback.
Delete it. Yeah, delete this. I sound terrible.
But I guess the only bit of pushback is that I don't think the excuse of the well, this is the system, or
Yeah, I
this is
know.
how it works.
That's how you kids
Should
are.
and sure,
That's how
that's
you
how
kids are. I mean, like,
that's yeah. So I guess that would be my only pushback, like
yeah,
which
it's
is
so funny. What's happening right now is there's like these ideals about what the music industry should be like and the kind of treatment that you should accept and all this stuff. And that's happening amongst people who don't have the jobs, who don't get the work, and who are working at the lowest level. People who are working at within the music industry at any level that's like not like the very bottom and who are working at the very top of the industry are working in conditions that are fucking crazy. And if you have it in your head that you can't deal with that or you wouldn't deal with that, you're just never going to work. You have to put up with the stupidest shit and you have to pretend like people who are fucking crazy are not crazy. That's the music industry. There's no getting around it. The second you start working, you're like, everybody's bad. Why do I like this? And then you just keep doing it.
and you don't see any way of changing it, or you don't see.
With the type of job security that exists in the
You gave me
music
the snicker.
industry,
You said,
I don't see a way of changing it. You're right. I don't see it.
oh boy.
Like, I once had someone tell me I was so funny. I was unprofessional for taking a breath before the end of the phrase. And he's someone that helps me prepare for different gigs that I get. And that's really rude. That's like a weird, mean thing to say, right? But then I was talking to my friend who started working at one of the most prestigious opera houses in the world. And she said that someone started yelling at her because she didn't know an Italian word. She said that people would be following her on the streets. She said the conductor, they gave her an extra performance. The conductor who was conducting that performance wanted to meet with her before she did it. He changed everything. All those moments of take a breath here, sing loud here, sing quiet here. He changed everything that she had been rehearsing for several months, and her performance is in 2 days. And she just had to eat that. She just had to eat that. People do shit like that to you just to fuck with your head. Because he wanted to get his sopranos that pay, that he takes a fee to get them in there. He wanted to get those people in there. So shit's not nice. If you find people to work with that are good people and they really fuck with you and you really fuck with them and everything's copacetic, stay there as long as you can. But you can't stay there because it's freelance. I don't know. It's people are not nice.
And you don't see. I mean, because the only way that things can be changed or things can be changed for the better is for someone to make it better. But you're saying that
once again, I don't see me not taking work because I'm trying to fix the music industry. God willing, if I have the opportunity, when I have the opportunity to make the kind of change that's necessary, I won't need to sacrifice my own paycheck in order to do that. But as of now, anybody that works is putting up with a lot of shit. And a lot of it's really bad. Insect infestations level bad.
And
I do feel bad for those girls. But I'm also it sucks in the music industry.
yeah.
Yeah.
And right. And I guess, I mean, and I know people say, "Oh, I wasn't surprised," and people almost say that with some kind of they kind of grandstand a little bit, I wasn't surprised by this," and I'm like, "Oh, that's good for you. I'm glad you weren't surprised, but you can still acknowledge that these are bad situations." And I guess the music industry, because I'm kind of seeing what's going on in the movie and TV and film industry right now, because there's a strike going on
Mm-hmm.
with SAG-AFTRA, the guild,
Yeah.
and then WGA, Writers Guild, and they are addressing these same exact issues of, and I guess that's what Me Too did. That's what a lot of these, and of
But
course,
they're
is it
mostly
better?
addressing like not wanting to be replaced by AI and getting their coins for streaming.
Sure, but there are also
That's like mostly what it is.
Sure, but there are also workplace issues like,
Mhm.
the writers' rooms, just having like a minimum amount of people working
Yeah.
instead of it all just being on one person.
Okay. Mhm.
Being able to get residuals,
Yeah, yeah.
and
yeah.
get paid. So I feel like the music industry, because of, has just been one of exploitation. I mean, we've heard all the
Yeah.
horror stories from these. I mean, this is the 50th anniversary of hip hop, I think, this year. And we hear these horror stories from Roxanne and all these old rap groups that were just swindled. De La Soul, and one of the members died not too long ago, and how these guys have just been swindled by places like everywhere, really.
Yeah.
And then you even have our own, from
Yeah.
Diddy to Jay-Z, even taking most of the money and having all these people
Mhm.
go by the wayside. So and hey, it's a lot to ask for someone to be that sacrificial lamb, right? To try and change the industry, but you know that the people that try and do that are going to be kicked out, excoriated, whatever word. And I think it's just it's so sad, but
It is really
something
sad.
has to,
Something has to change for sure,
know.
but it's like for people to be upset that the person who has the most responsibility on their shoulders for the show to also then like always be nice to them, always like be perfect towards them, all this stuff. I just feel like that's a tall order that may or may not ever happen.
I don't think that's what most people are saying. I just think they're
No,
saying
I'm not
you don't have to be not, but
I'm
there's
not
a certain
saying
level.
that's
There-
the idea that you would go on tour with one of the best known artists that currently is making music and expect it to be like, wow, like nothing bad ever happened. No one ever did anything mean to me. No one said anything. Like in my experience, from what I know of the space that I occupy in the music industry, when you don't take a breath, somebody tells you you're unprofessional. So, I mean, so it's kind of like, yeah, it's hard. It's bad. People who are working, people who make it to the top, they've had to put up with the craziest shit. And that doesn't mean people coming up should also have to put up with that shit, but they probably will. I don't know what to do about that.
Right. I mean, and yeah, these are allegations, so no one's saying anything. But
Also, I don't know
we
what
help.
most of the allegations are.
Right. But I mean, yeah, I think that's
To
really
be fair.
that's really the way to say it. That we hope no one has to go through that, but sadly, it looked like
They shouldn't have to.
But
God, I remember I met this girl one time who was like a singer-songwriter, and she was telling me how she went to the new school or something like that, and she was like, oh, they were so mean. And I was like, why should I have to put up with that? And so I left, and I was like, well, I wish you the best of luck. Keep that going as long as you can, like working with only nice people.
Or I mean, I guess knowing what your principles or standards are, right? So
Yeah.
if it's something that you're not willing to take, then yeah.
Good luck being poor.
But it's too bad. It's too bad that people have to make those decisions. And,
It sucks.
And really, the blame and the anger and the vitriol shouldn't go towards the victims. It should
Absolutely
go
not.
against the perpetrators. But
yeah,
again,
it should go
it's a lot
towards the
easier to say.
perpetrators. But it's
A lot
also,
easier
I
to
don't
say
know. I
than-
just feel like, could you imagine? Oh my God, I should be quiet because I don't know where this is going to go. But I'm saying, knowing so little about the allegations, knowing so little about the way things function in like the pop music world, we're imagining the level of pressure that these people are under to perform well, to perform at the highest level all the time. I think most of us could then understand how that would lead to us coming across like not the best at all times. But that's not what this is about.
Right. Exactly. Right. There are levels to this. So, this ain't Lizzo just screamed a couple times.
I'm a
or
Lizzo
like,
apologist.
Hey, God, Matt.
I'm an apologist.
That wasn't it. You know, these went beyond the pale. I think we can understand
for sure.
perfectionism. We can understand the Beyonce tyrant, you know. If someone's getting fired.
I'm
sure.
not gonna die on this hill.
But you know,
you're right.
There's differences. There's levels.
There's differences. My hope is that every artist could learn how to treat people with respect, no matter how high of a level they're performing at.
True.
But let me tell you something.
Oh.
There was a time when I was singing Aida. This is one of the hardest roles, right? They had the fucking fog machine on for like the whole performance, and they had never done this during rehearsals. And every time I took a breath, I feel like there was a cloud entering my nose and entering my throat, and I felt like I was gonna fucking choke. The second I got off stage, I was like, Rachel. I found Rachel. She's a stage manager. I was like, that fog machine is fucking with my high notes. And she was like, she retracted. She was like, oh, I did something bad. And I was like, when are you supposed to turn it off? And she's like, we turn off in Act 3. I was like, Act 3 is really hard for me. Turn it off in Act 2. I'm still mad about it. And you know what? Like, luckily, I'm not some huge diva, right? Because if I was like Renee Fleming, that shit would be on TikTok tomorrow. Rachel would make a fucking post. She'd be like, I was backstage and we had the fog machine on and Renee Fleming told me she yelled in my face that I was fucking with her high notes. But for me, in that moment, I was like, my only goal is to put on the best possible performance that I can of something that is profoundly challenging. And through negligence, they fucked it up. And I can take responsibility that I also, it's some way, maybe I did something to also fuck it up. I don't know. But to me, I'm like, I'm ready. I'm ready. My voice is in good shape. I know the fucking notes. I know the fucking staging. Turn off the goddamn fog machine. And that was just in Utah performing Aida.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is like the more responsibilities on my shoulders, the more I want to do a good job, the more people, everybody else, we all need to be fucking working together.
True. And
at the same goddamn level.
You're starting to get hungry, huh?
I must be starving.
Let's get to that point. But Mimi, there's no, I guess, I understand why that happens. I always just look at the structures and the system around you. So that probably wouldn't, pressure exists. And I'm, speaking of utopia and, I live in a perfect world, but it's not perfect. But,
pressure
maybe that
exists. It's not equal for everybody. Yeah. On stage, you can have a director, you can have a conductor, you can have stage managers, stage hands, supers, the chorus. If you fuck up because the conductor gave the downbeat at the wrong time, if you look stupid on stage because the director wants you to like crawl on your knees in a fucking, banana costume, if you are inhaling smoke and can't sing a high note, because the stage manager forgot to turn off the fucking fog machine, if the chorus is out of time with the conductor, they talk about you. So the pressure exists, but it doesn't exist the same way for everybody in a music setting.
Understood.
Sorry, I don't know. We got to move on. I feel like I'm just going to... And you know what else?
God damn it. Look.
There was a ghost in my dressing room. And it turned up, it tried to make the light blink one day. I pointed to it and I said, absolutely not. And then the light just turned back on, no problem.
And that was it. Um,
What's going on over there? You coughing?
this is going to be my last thing.
Okay.
I just wanted to dedicate a couple minutes to who you are, your background, right? Because yes, you're a musician, a highly talented one, at least in my estimation. But you're also Haitian, and you're like, yeah,
That's true.
And I just wanted to know if, because we see it through art, that people's identities, especially, and even white people try and deny this, of course, right? Because they try and make themselves the mainstream, and it just is.
Uh-oh.
But their identities influence.
I feel like you're going to
their
expect
art.
me to know so much about being Haitian.
No, it's not. All I was just going to ask is that, have you found your Haitian identity, background, experiences seep into your music, your voice, anything that you do?
Yes.
And
Actually,
what are they? That's
okay,
it.
I have a theory.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Because the way Haitian people speak is really kind of like open and like open-throated, and people are really kind of loud.
And you're being specific about their speaking Haitian Creole, not English or some other language. Okay, got it.
I feel like that has prepared me to sing operatically in a certain way. In terms of like placement and all that stuff, I feel like if I grew up with people that spoke like this all the time in the house, then it would have taken me a long time to figure out how I was going to sing really loudly. But I never had to worry about that because everyone in my house yells. You know? People are always yelling. So I feel like it was easy for me to like understand how to do it.
Do you have because with different people, different languages, do you have a favorite Haitian Creole phrase or word that when you, right, that makes you chuckle like that?
Well, mostly no. I just know bad words.
Oh, okay. That's true too. Here. I'll tell you one, yeah?
Okay. Is it going to be, are you going to curse at me?
Oh, no, I'm not going to curse at you. It's actually a very, so I'm Ghanaian American.
That's true.
Yes. And specifically from the Volta region in Ghana.
Ooh. Sounds like there's good wine there.
Volta? I don't think so. We definitely have palm
be.
wine. Devil's water.
Okay.
Which
Devil's water. That sounds good.
Everyone I feel has like their different version of palm wine. Anyway, there was something that my mom, who, passed away a little while ago, always used to say to us when we would like trip and fall. She would say "babana," and in a very literal translation, it means sorry, like I'm sorry, but not in the apologetic way. But like when you tripped and fall, and she would say "babana," it almost meant like, I feel your pain. I'm sorry that you're dealing with that.
Wow.
So when my mom passed, a bunch of my relatives, aunties and uncles, they would come by and they would say that, "babana." And I heard that and I was like, why are they? I haven't tripped. I haven't hurt myself. But it was to almost, again, say, I feel your pain.
Yeah.
I'm sorry you're going.
Wow.
And it's very empathetic. Like, you don't really have that in English. Because I would hear, you would tell something that's happening. You'd be like, this and this happened. And people would be like, oh, I'm sorry. And then the thing they would respond with is, oh, well, you don't have to be sorry. You didn't do it. Mm-hmm. It's like, that's. Yeah,
I'm empathizing.
Right, exactly. And that shows how English lacks in that very real way of connecting with someone. Like, oh, I'm sorry that happened to you.
Chimamanda Adichie always says that English is very cold, like it's very removed.
Got you.
Which I think is really interesting.
So that has become and now I've started saying it just to like my friends, and when they deal with something that has, especially emotionally, because not a lot of my friends are like falling down and scraping their knees and crying about it, right? But babana, just to show that, hey, I'm here. So not a curse word.
Actually,
but whatever you think.
What you just said brings to mind. There's two things. I guess I don't know if every Haitian person says this, or if it's just like the people that I know. But there are two phrases that I can think of. One of them is said like if you trip and fall,
Okay.
people will say "Kembe jeunesse," which means hold on to your youth. Which is like only old people fall. So you're gonna look old if you're starting to fall places. So
That
like
is amazing.
hold on to
Sorry,
that.
say that again.
Oh, please don't make me say it. I have such a bad English accent. I'm embarrassed.
The Haitian people are gonna be like, "Who is
Listen,
this?"
if any, I'm so sorry. You should have gotten Jessie Woo.
She's hilarious, actually. Yeah, she's
And
great.
she's a great singer.
Oh, I did
Um,
not know that about her, but
she's
yeah.
so good.
What was that again?
It's Kembe jeunesse. Kembe jeunesse.
Hold on to your youth.
Yeah. And the other thing that I really like is my aunts and uncles used to say this to us. Like if somebody was cooking a meal, like if like one of the younger people in the family cooked a meal or something and it was really good, then the adults would say "ou ka marié," which means you're ready for marriage. I don't know if my family is just hilarious or if everybody says this,
I
but
mean, what is your last name?
Hilaire,
There you go. So, I,
you're right.
I mean, I'm guessing.
It's in the name. Names
just
are
guessing to say-
spells, and
So
it
they would
turns
say
out.
that when a woman is and the food is
It
particularly
could be a
good.
man, anybody.
Oh.
Like if you cooked and it's good,
Good. Okay. They
and
would
it's really good,
they would say what again?
"ou ka marié."
Got you.
It's like you're ready now.
And I also just have to say this for more for myself, but Haitian Creole is not. It's just not French. It isn't.
Why?
It's not.
What?
No, I'm just asking for, because there are always those people that try and like make it seem like Haitian Creole is just I guess a dialect in a way, or like some kind of offshoot when it's
Like,
its own
right,
language with
yeah.
its own
I
syntax,
mean,
own
I
thing.
feel like it's its own language, but there's a lot of similarities to French. I mean, there are a lot of things also that make it like like you don't conjugate as much in Creole.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, you just don't conjugate as much. So a French person would be profoundly confused. Also, gender does not work the same way at all. So you'd be profoundly confused because the gender of something decides the grammar in this really serious way in French, but it's like there's no gender in Creole. Like I can't think of any sentence I would make which indicates the gender of any object. So it's kind of like, or any person even. So it's kind of hard to like Creole is heavily influenced by French, and you can't get around that. Like, "ou ka marié." Marié is like, that's from French. But French people would have a really hard time speaking French Creole. Just like, well, actually, now white people are starting to speak Ave.
Speak what?
Ave.
What's that?
Oh, African American vernacular
Oh,
English.
gotcha,
Ever heard of it?
Gotcha. I'm still gonna call it Ebonics. So,
Why? I'm not from Ebonia, and neither are you.
but what is AAV? I mean, I
African
know what
American-
it means, but
It's vernacular English.
I don't. I guess what
Ebonics,
I'm
there's no country called Ebony that we're from, so that's why Ebonics doesn't make sense.
But wasn't that just a? I think it's just a youth. I just think that everyone always has to replace things with these academic or academia. Ain't nobody in, I don't know, here saying I'm speaking Ave. No, it's just Ebonics.
No,
Like that's what it's been. And I think all of these,
I don't
people
like-
that were in
But
Howard or
Ebonics doesn't
Fisk,
respect.
that was like,
It doesn't respect that we're all from different places. Ebonics indicates or implies that there's a specific place that
is
we're
that where
all
it comes from? Eboniya? What? That's what
Let's look it up. Where's the Wikipedia?
That's what the background was. We ain't got time to do that. That's fine. But okay, yeah. I just and of course this is not really that big of it, but I just feel like again, I don't think the lay person or the common person is gonna know about African American vernacular
you know
English. But
You know what? I
Yes.
prefer Ave
and that's fine.
because Ebonics is like, who, first of all, who came up with that? And all those people, whoever came up with that decided that we were ebony. And that's why which I feel like does not respect that Black people are not a monolith.
True.
I feel like
Ave.
African American vernacular English is very specific. It's our way of speaking English. If we choose not to code switch
True.
or whatever.
I mean, I guess a bunch of things can have a bunch of different names, but just like I
You
don't
can
know.
say Ebonics and
like
I won't
just
be
like
mad
people,
at you.
yeah, or like people say Latinx versus Latine versus Latino Latina. Like they're just different
Mhm.
ways, and of course, through academia and through different people trying to appease different places or appease different people. But I just know that I have a feeling a fair amount of Black people are not.
You're making a big
Calling-
assumption about a fair amount of Black people, but
Or
that's
saying
okay.
what?
I have a
Ave?
question. I have a question for
I have
you.
a feeling that's not
I have
the
a
thing.
question for you, actually.
Go ahead.
Do you consider Haiti to be part of Latin America? Like, would you consider me
no.
Latinx?
No.
Okay. I was just wondering.
What do you think?
Would you consider the Dominican Republic to be part of Latin America?
No,
¿Por qué no?
because it's part of the Caribbean. It's different. So, like Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic,
They're not Latin. They're not Latin.
they're
I feel like you're
like
definitely
Latinos, but
wrong.
no, I'm just saying.
Okay,
no,
so-
wait.
but-
So you're speaking of.
So they're
you
Latino.
said Latin America, right?
So doesn't the word Latino reflect that you're from Latin America?
Yes, but it's not.
Then how could you call Dominicans Latino and not Haitians? Because they don't speak the same language? That's a genuine question. I know it came out sounding shady.
No.
But that was a genuine
I
question?
believe you, but I think it's just like how Trinidad.
Mm-hmm.
Trinidad is within, like, it's part of the Caribbean, but it's not you wouldn't call. Hold on, let me go back. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Go into your mind palace.
So wait, sorry. Ask that question again.
Would you consider Haiti or Haitians or whatever to be Latino?
Right? No.
This is actually a debate. I mean, it's
right.
It's
so
literally
so
debatable.
okay. Sorry. That's why I was sticking.
Do you have any opinions about this?
That's what I was. No, sorry. So that's what I was saying with. And that's why I got lost real quick. Like Guyana is in South
Okay.
America.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
It's not considered part of Latin America.
That's crazy.
Do you know what I mean?
Don't
Because
you see a pattern here?
Anglophone, because it's like an Anglophone. Yeah.
Do you not see a pattern? I feel like when you're Black, they don't
So
want
that's
you to
why I was
be-
like,
Let's look it up. No, for real.
I was like,
this is a good thing.
I know
Ask
that
the
I wasn't
computer.
lost on that, and I was like, wait a minute, I know I'm coming to a point here.
Ask
but
your
yeah.
computer,
Ask my computer.
technically, whether or not Haitians are Latin American.
But yeah, it's so right. It's
I think
not.
we can't leave here without knowing.
It's not. Haiti is not part of Latin America.
Mm-hmm.
Just like Trinidad is not part of Latin America, or Guyana in South America,
Mm-hmm.
it's not
Okay.
part of Latin America.
The part that confuses me is the Dominican Republic being right there.
Yes, but there's a definite demarc. Like y'all are split.
Yeah, we are.
Yes,
We are split. You could say that again.
in like many ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And is Haiti a Latin American country?
Mm-hmm.
Haiti is a Latin American country.
Well,
Located in the Caribbean, Haiti was a French
siempre
colony.
que te pregunto que cómo, cuándo y dónde, tú
Interesting.
siempre me respondes. Quizás, quizás, quizás. Pam. Y así pasan los días. What you know
Okay,
about that?
so I guess
So you should be referring to me as Latina.
fair enough. So
I'm an Afro-Latina.
so okay, people from Guyanese are Latin then?
I don't know. Ask the Google. I barely even knew about Haitians.
Yeah, right. I wonder what that's rooted in. You know what? Hey, yeah,
Probably racism, like everything else.
you're right. The entire continent of South America, in addition to Mexico, Central America, and the islands of the Caribbean. So I guess there are Romance languages.
Yeah, I
So I
truly
guess
think
you would.
it's really funny how all the islands or all the places where the black people are at, they're not Latin American. You know, seems like racism to me. I just got a feeling.
I mean, Brazilians. Oh, right, but Brazil is definitely considered a Latin American country, but there's a fair amount of. But
Third largest slave trade was in Brazil.
right.
My camera's looking at me. This one's looking at me.
But and so Guadeloupe, Martinique, all those countries in the Caribbean, yes, there would be Latin American.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that.
So you're Latina?
It's true.
But then, what
Latina.
places are considered West Indian then, or a part of the West Indies?
I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and say Jamaica, Barbados, Bahamas, those places.
But Haiti would be considered part of the West Indies too, right?
I don't know.
Interesting.
I didn't learn about Haiti in school.
You were just Haitian. That was it.
I'm just Haitian. That's
You're
enough.
just Haitian. Yeah, that's all the education you need. Mimi, thank you for showing me that I don't know shit, and that I have a lot to learn. And
we all have a lot to learn. It's okay.
That's true. I mean, what is it they say? The more you know, the more you don't know. Do you know what I mean?
Yep. The more you fuck around, the more you gotta find out.
I think that's perfect. How do you say goodbye in Haitian Creole?
I don't. Okay, no, I do know.
Oh, okay.
Nopwe.
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 It's
Nope.
like I'll see you.
Oh, okay. Got you. And what was that? What were the two other phrases again? I might have to start saying that to myself, especially me walking around with the cane. Get my youth back, or the youth? What was it?
Kembe jeunesse.
Okay, please put that upon me. Mimi, it was really great having you here.
Thank you.
Thank you for schooling us on how you feel about Lizzo, and that everything she did was totally okay.
Yeah, it was completely acceptable.
Ave, and the land of Ibania, and everything else. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it.
Of course. Yeah. I'm so honored to be here.
Appreciate y'all. Thank you.